So working out your hourly rate, it's actually quite a simple process in reality. Just a couple of things you need to consider first of all. The hours per week that you're actually going to work, whether you like it or not, if you're working for yourself, you need admin time, which means you can't be working on the tools 40 hours per week. Now you might work a full week, 1 week, but then less next week. So in reality, averaging across the year, you should have 1 day per week, I would say, 1 day per week for your admin. That's your time to do invoicing, to price jobs, to chase money, to do ordering for preparing for jobs, things like that. So per week, you're not going to do 40 hours, you're going to do 32 hours per week. And looking at the weeks per year, well, straight away, there's 52 weeks a year, but you can take 2 weeks off for your bank holidays. And then you can take another 5 weeks off for your own personal holidays because you deserve holidays when you work for yourself. So you're looking at a maximum of 45 weeks a year that you can work. So that means total across the year is equal to 32 times 45. And that is your number of hours per year that you want to be able to work. So, based on the number of hours per year, if you're looking at earning an average Spark salary to replace the salary you're going to lose when you come out of work, you're looking at earning 45,000 a year. That's probably your average Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 Sparks wage. So 45 grand a year. So what is our hourly rate based on 45 grand? It's as simple as equaling to that value divided by your hours per year that you're going to work. So you're looking at £31.25 per hour that you would have to charge to maintain your wages, assuming you get that much work in a year. So based on that, right, £31.25 an hour. Now you can charge that if you want, or you can round it up. Well, you can round it down, but obviously rounding up, rounding down changes your annual wage. So let's look at, instead of the amount you want to earn per hour to get your wage back, let's see what you would earn based on a chosen hourly rate. So let's say you want to round it up to £35 an hour. £35 an hour is going to give you an annual wage of, I'm going to equal, your number of hours per year times your hourly rate that you're charging. So you're looking at £50,000 a year based on £35 an hour. You might be thinking, great, I'll have 50 grand a year to start. Obviously, you've got to get that work in, but now you know what your hourly rate is, and that is your hourly rate. What a lot of people add into their hourly rate is their overheads. Now, obviously, you do need to include that in what you're going to charge per hour, but I encourage you to keep it separate. Okay, keeping it separate. So we need to work out roughly how much we need to be adding to our hourly rate for our overheads. So your van, now you might own your van, you might use your car to cut costs at the start, but in reality, if you're using your vehicle, you are creating wear and tear, you are going to use it up over time, and eventually it's going to need replacing. So every single hour you work, you should be putting money aside to either pay for a van or replace your van. So you're looking at right now a cheap little van that you can get on a monthly cost is about £200. Right, I'll give you something reasonable to keep you going. Now, insurance. Insurance, I personally, I'm an older fella, so my insurance is quite low. I reckon business insurance on a van for me right now will be about £100 a month. Right, if you're a young lad, that's going to go up, obviously. Your fuel, probably another £100 a month. Could go up, could go down, but you've got to put something in there. Your van tax for a cheap little van, 160 quid. Your tools, now you can put as much as you want away for your tools, but we're talking about hand tools here, or maybe small power tools. You might occasionally want to do the odd large purchase, maybe a cable stapler or something special to make yourself look good. So you can put aside 50 quid a month, say, for for buying new tools. Tool maintenance. This is only like, see, your tester needing calibrating. If you've got a torque screwdriver, that might need calibrating. But essentially, tool maintenance is going to be very low. So we'll put a tenner a month on that. Liability insurance. Now, I wouldn't recommend anybody does any work for themselves without liability insurance. It's usually quite cheap, but let's throw a tenner a month on that as a stab in the dark. The installer scheme. So if you're going to notify your work, it does look better on your van if you've got NIC or NAPIT or something like that written on there, so you can look more professional. Your installer schemes are generally around about £500 to £1,000 a year. So if we put £100 a month on for that, that'll cover us for our installer scheme. Accounts and bookkeeping. At first, you're only interested in somebody to do your accounts at the end of the year because you're going to manage it yourself in your own admin time. So at first, your accounts and bookkeeping can be quite low. So what I'll do is I'll put 20 quid a month on that. And advertising now. Obviously, we're looking to get work by word of mouth, but at first you might be tempted to try out a few things. Maybe you want a website built, something like that. So if we'll put something in for advertising, maybe another 20 quid a month. Okay. So that is a simple list, not exhaustive, of things that you can do for your overheads, or you will need to pay for your overheads. And bear in mind, if you don't put it to one side, then you're paying out your profits. Okay, so make sure you're putting this money to one side. That gives you a total per month of, and we're going to need to add all these together. So Excel gives us this equals sum function. We just sum that entire column. Now I'm doing the whole column so that we can add to it. So obviously you guys might be thinking of all kinds of things you want to add to that. But if we leave it there, that comes to £770 per month. That means across the year, you're going to be taking that value and you're going to times it by 12. That means you need to cover £9,245 per year. So then, based on that, for 45 weeks, you're going to work every year. You're going to be needing to earn £205 a week to cover those costs. That means per day, take that value and divide by your 4 days a week that you're actually working. 50 quid per day that you need to earn before you've actually earned a penny for yourself. That means hourly, we're going to have to take our 50 quid and we're going to have to divide it by 8. And that is our overheads, right? Now, if we want to add something to this, let's say we want to add in, can't think of it off the top of my head, education. Let's say we want to put in, you need to do your CPD, don't you, every year. So you want to add CPD, we just want CPD. CPD every year. Let's say you do an 18th edition 1 year, 2391 the next year. It's probably going to be £1,000 a year. So let's throw in another 100 quid a month for that. And that moves you up to £7.25 an hour. Now I can add to that list as much as I want with the monthly rates, and this will update straight away for all of it. So now our total hourly rate, right? Our final hourly rate is going to come to, and I'll put it down here. It's going to come to this value plus this value, and that's what you're charging per hour. Okay, so that is the total hourly rate, but I wouldn't recommend you tell anybody that, right? I'll keep this value and I'll keep that value separate. And just remember, you've got to add this to the price of every job that you do. Okay,